Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. A game that pretty much divided a lot of fans. Pretty much had not so good feelings from no Metal Gear fans alike. But anyhow, this is one of the games that has a memorable storyline going in, and even more so, a memorable theme song that I'm just gonna say right now is one of the best theme songs and the most, how can I say this slightly, misplaced theme song what I ever heard in a video game. Now, first, let me just start with the video game because this is very important. Give a little brief description. This one is pretty much a prequel, not on Snake's story arc, but the man who's pretty much has been centered around this whole Metal Gear, not just Solid, but the Metal Gear series as a whole, and that is Big Boss. And the reason why this is centered around it, we get to see how Big Boss became the man that we pretty much thought we knew because a lot of stuff that happened wasn't revealed until this particular game. And man, was a lot of stuff happened here. We get to find out that he was forced to face his mentor, which was known as the Boss, a female counterpart who is actually pretty good. We also find out that there's stuff that even he himself has not had realized until the very end of the game. And also, we have found out, more importantly, the odd relationship between him and Revolver Ocelot, which is very interesting. It may answer a lot of questions of why there is somewhat of a neutral respect for both men, because they were both enemies at one time, and then for reasons that remain a mystery until pretty much now, he became somewhat of an ally towards Big Boss, even though with Ocelot, it's been very clear that he pretty much operate on his own accord. He doesn't really answer to no one. This is pretty much a very good story. It is a very interesting story. And it's a story that a lot of people either said it was needed or unnecessary. Now, when I heard there was going to be a Metal Gear Solid 3, and I heard it was going back into the very beginning of how this all got started. The first thing I was saying is, why? We should be going forward, not backwards. Why are we telling Snake again? I can understand that people probably did not know that Metal Gear Solid is a spin-off of Metal Gear, which was the first two games that came out on Nintendo. I believe the second one never came out in the U.S., but a lot of people heard about it, and as a result of that, we had pretty much a game that was not really released. That was the fill in the gaps was pretty much filled in with Metal Gear Solid when they had like documents explaining the events of 1 and 2. If you dare to read those documents that was in the game, I had because it was actually intriguing because I knew there was actually two games. I just never got a chance to play it. There was even hints about the first game in Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. If you was very careful to play it, you actually can see where there's like a pretty much a malfunction, a virus or something was going on with the nano machines, and you've been to see that the Nintendo version just briefly on a screen. But in any case, there was a lot of tie-ins, a lot of stuff that was that caught me by surprise, saying, "Why bring this up now? Couldn't you make a different, separate game, pretty much fill in the gaps between Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2?" But then I did not realize that this was not Snake's story. This was completely Big Boss's story. And for the most part, it works as Big Boss's story. And I actually thought they did a tremendous job presenting the story because now you realize why he did what he did, especially leading up to the very end, which is Metal Gear Solid 4, in my opinion, in terms of that whole story arc coming into full circle. The problem with this game, I think this is, I think there's no secret about this, and this is why a lot of people are saying if you're a newcomer coming to this game, you really have to play the first two games to understand Metal Gear Solid 3. This is a game that is, let's be honest, if you're playing this, you're not really playing this for the gameplay. You're actually playing this for the cutscenes. This is more movie driven than perhaps I have actually can imagine. It's more movie driven than the first two combined, and it didn't get any. It became more movie driven at the fourth one. But this is pretty much a story. You're playing the game just to get to the next story, just to get the next piece of the puzzle. And many people, especially those who are not used to the Metal Gear Solid franchise to begin with, was not very happy about that. They wanted to really play the game. They wanted to play the game and have less of the the cutscenes that pretty much dominated this game. In fact, if you take all the cutscenes away, the game is a lot shorter than what it is. Even from the other two games, if you take away all those cutscenes, you had a very short game because it was designed to have those cutscenes there. But if you're a fan of the game and if you really want to hear the story arc of these characters, then it's definitely worth your time and money. This is actually a very good game to play, and I don't regret playing it, especially just to get a gist of what Big Boss was like, how he managed to be what he managed to be, and especially with the end when you see these people and their fake claps and everything else, and how they already had it set up where they can have a special operative based on how he done, based on the performance he done, and how much they can use for corporate operations, which set up Foxhound at the very end. The scene, the very end scene when he went to his mentor's grave and made that salute was actually repeated again in the fourth one. But I actually felt that there was a lot of stuff going on that this game really did a good job showing that, especially when he was actually betrayed by one of his colleagues who was supposed to kill him but didn't kill him but left a message explaining Boss's true intentions, how she was meant to follow orders to die, which is kind of crazy, but they had to have her die for the mission to be actually completed, which was pretty messed up. And at the same time, you pretty much understood what was really going on and how politics had basically destroyed him, as well as everybody else around him, for that matter, in terms of what their true motives were. Now for the music, which, by the way, if you guys want to play this, I might as well say it before I get to the music real quick. If you guys are keen on playing, especially retro gamers, my advice is to you, if you're new with the Metal Gear series, you gotta start at 1 and then work your way up. Because if you start at 3 and you're not used to this kind of gameplay, especially with the movie jump cuts that's coming in there, your chances are you're not gonna like it too much. So start from the first one. If you can get the original classic, that's fine. If you can get the HD, that's fine too. But you really want to start from part 1 and then work your way up. Now for the music. Plain and simple, I like the music. I like the theme. It works perfect with the atmosphere, with the time setting. Snake Eater, I absolutely love hearing. This is one of the best theme songs that I've heard in a video game. I'll put it as the top 50 as my favorite theme song list, and yet it doesn't remind me of Metal Gear. It doesn't remind me of Metal Gear at all. You know what it reminds me of? And I'm pretty much sure that I'm not the only one that feels that way. When I hear the Snake Eater theme, I think of James Bond immediately. For some reason, this reminds me more of 007 than it does a Metal Gear franchise. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm saying that it is a bit out of place for that theme. In fact, if you take that theme and put it in a James Bond movie, people will instantly say, oh, that's a James Bond theme. They're not going to make a connection. That's actually probably the theme that was already used in another medium, particularly Metal Gear. But it's a great song. It's a wonderful song. It definitely gives you the feel that you went back in time in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. But it's definitely a well-sung song. I actually think it did a great job. There's actually 2 versions: the interdimensional version with the vocals and the actual lyric version, which I think a Cynthia, I forgot her last name, but she did a tremendous job. I actually saw the behind the scenes of how they made that song, and it was very well done. The song is great. I have no problem with the song. I just felt that when you hear it, it's going to take you some time to realize, oh, this is a Metal Gear Solid song. It feels like James Bond to me. Maybe it's just me, but it feels like a James Bond theme to me. But it's a very good song nonetheless. So the game is good for those who already followed the first 2 Metal Gears, or even followed the other 2 Metal Gear games from Nintendo. The jump cuts, yes, it's a lot. I mean, there's no question, a lot. But at this time, when you see it, let's be honest, you're not really. Those who really play it, those who are fans of it, that's what they want to see. If you are a newcomer or a casual gamer, this probably will frustrate you because I know a lot of people didn't like this game. A lot of people didn't like the game, and the first thing they say is, it had too many damn cutscenes. I wanted to play this game. I didn't want to see a movie, but yet this is what they gave me. So it is what it is. To me, I recommend Snake Eater, the game for diehard fans. Those who are not diehard fans who are interested in this game, go play the first two, then jump on this. If I got anything to say negative about it, some of the mechanics they use, I didn't really care too much about. But anything else, it was just fine. I didn't have no problem with that. And the music is great. I thought the score was good. I thought the theme song was definitely memorable. Problem is, I gotta remind myself that it's not a James Bond theme; it's a Metal Gear theme. So that's all I gotta say about this video game music review. If you agree, disagree, or do you have any fond memories of Metal Gear Solid 3, let me know in the comment section. But until then, it's J77 saying take care, be safe. I'll talk to you soon.